Hi, everybody. As you can tell by the title of this video, it is called Pros and Cons of Vaping. Let's get into it. Now, I know, and I'm going to show you guys a picture. And I know you guys may be like, why are we watching a video of pros and cons of vaping? Let me explain that. Because, honestly, it's because a lot of people nowadays are vaping and they're not understanding the good and the bad about it. Now, I'll tell you my opinion of vaping after I speak to you guys about it. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about vaping and if you do it and if you like it. However, vaping products contain a great deal fewer harmful chemicals than cigarettes and can be an effective tool in quitting smoking altogether. Now, that is what a lot of people say, that if you're trying to quit smoking cigarettes, go to vaping because then it will help you quit smoking. No, it's going to help you quit smoking cigarettes, but you're still addicted to smoking. You just switched what you're smoking. You're still smoking. Now, if you don't realize how vaping works, let me explain it to you. So, vaping, and if you've never seen a picture of what a vape is, I will definitely show you a picture. There's so many different types of vapes out there. So, it just depends on what you prefer. Let me show you guys this. Let me put my phone screen up on high so y'all can see it. So, okay. This is vaping. This right here is a typical one that you would see everybody with. And then this right here is vapes, and you just keep going. And all of these are different types of vapes. Now, let me explain to you, and a lot of people have these types of vapes as well. But let me explain to you what vapes are made out of. Okay? Vapes are basically made out of essential oils. Now, they may add weed to those essential oils. That's basically what it is. But that's what you're smoking. Now, powering the vape up is batteries. So you're basically smoking batteries and essential oils. And now, you, the people who vape, may say, get the fuck out of here. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. This bitch. And y'all don't catch me cursing on here. But that's when people may think that. And it's okay because everybody has a right to their own opinions. But guess what? That's the life we're living in. And that's the truth. So let's get into it. Many smokers and non-smokers have taken vaping in the almost 20 years since the device was first invented. The range of e-cigarette devices and offer now has expanded tremendously. Pens, pods, and disposable vapes are all commonly available, often in a range of flavorful options. They can be cheaper than smoking, but some health experts have warned that not enough is known about the harmful effects of vaping. A consultant pediatric chest physician told a Guardian, a parent, last month of his concern that in the United States could be sleepwalking. People could be sleepwalking in a public. People could be sleepwalking because of vaping. Pro, better than cigarettes. E-cigarettes do not produce tar or carbon monoxide, two of the most harmful elements in inhaling tobacco smoke. Said the NHS studies have found that for cigarette smokers, switching to e-cigarettes have improved their health and the lung function of asthma patients. In 2015, Public Health England PHE said that e-cigarettes were estimated to be around 95% harmful than smoking. A review into evidence on vaping safely is due to the published by PHE this year. Con. Harmful substance. No one is claiming that the e-cigarettes are completely risk-free, said Senior Clayton Noley, research associate. E-cigarettes don't contain tobacco, but many contain nicotine. So, if you don't know what nicotine is, it's basically the same thing as tobacco, but worse. The addictive substance that's in e-cigarettes, in cigarettes, as well as other toxins. Vaping also does not create, as many people believe, but rather made up of tiny particles. And inhaling anything into the lung may result in change in DNA. The conversation that you guys don't want to have, but you have to have it because just like smoking cigarettes, it hinders you. And I'm not making fun of anybody on the smokers commercial, but when you hear them touching their throat and they start talking, you could be one of those people. The same effects you can get from smoking cigarettes is the same effects you can get from vaping. You may think that, oh, it's helping you with your anxiety and your depression and all of that. That's great. That's wonderful. But how is it going to help you in the long run? It's not. It's going to hinder you. Cons. Applying to teens. Selling e-cigarettes to anyone under the age of 18 in the United States, UK, is illegal. But the BBC said it was aware of rising numbers of complaints over vapes. The finding of a survey conducted by YouGov for the charity Smoking and Health Association found that in 2002, 7% of people aged 11 to 17 reported that they vaped up to 4% in 2020. That is horrible. That is horrible, guys. And a lot of times, that just breaks my heart because a lot of the times children or anybody, they may see somebody else smoking it and they may be curious, bi-curious. And then they're like, oh, you're doing it, so can I try it? Or it's called peer pressure. And if you don't know what that is, I'm about to give you an example. Peer pressure is when somebody else is doing something and they're like, oh, you do this. I don't want to do that. That's just not what I want to do. Well, we're doing it and it makes us cool. So if you want to be cool, you got to do it too. I got to do that just to be cool? Yeah, because we did it and we're cool. So if you want to be like us, you got to do it. So then the person will do it. It's called being naive. So it just breaks my heart that a lot of people that are young are vaping. So colorful, sweet flavored vaping devices are becoming increasingly popular with teens. So with that being said, because they taste good, they may smell good, and they may look, the color, the appeal of it may be all that sells you, but that's what they get you. They get you what they think is going to make the buyer want to buy it. So if it has rainbow colors or it's bright colors and smells like fruity pebbles, or I'm making an example, they assume that people around the younger little age are going to want to do it. And I just feel like, in my eyes, it should not be like that. Because that's basically the seller trying to bribe you to buy their product. First introduced into the market in 2023, the devices were promoted. The devices were promoted as a way to cut back on cigarettes. When you have pulmonary disease, smoking is not a good thing. The most important aspect of taking care of your health, however, evidence supporting the use of e-cigarettes as an effective strategy of smoking. As e-cigarette use has increased, it has become clear that the device is a serious health risk of their own. Increasing reports of deaths and serious injuries in 2019, the Food and Drug Administration, which is the FDA, formally announced a plan to restrict flavored e-cigarette products and to increase all of the electronic nicotine delivery systems. These include the companies of e-cigarettes, as well as e-liquids, cartridges, flavorings, and etc. By the end of January 2020, e-cigarette companies were required to cease manufacturing and selling flavored vaping products, meaning that at this point in time, they're not saying, oh, vaping in a whole is bad, but they're saying that the flavored e-cigarettes are bad, because the more and more they add things to it to make it taste good, the more and more those things are bad for you. In 2019, they figured that out. How e-cigarettes work. So if you don't know what an e-cigarette is, I'll show you another picture of it after this. E-cigarettes are battery-powered devices. Didn't I just say a couple minutes ago in this video that e-cigarettes are powered by batteries? I just said that. So You're smoking batteries. You're smoking batteries and essential oils put together. So you're smoking batteries. Because the battery in the vape can't work unless you smoke it. I had to get that off my chest because I didn't think y'all understood. I'll say it again. E-cigarettes. Let me see. Anybody hear me? Anybody hear me? E-cigarettes are battery-powered devices filled with a solution of liquid nicotine, water, and etc. They are in shape and may resemble a cigarette flash drive or a mobile phone. So they have e-cigarettes that look like cell phones, that look like regular cigarettes, that look like keychains. They have them to look like fashionable things to get your attention. When you take a puff of an e-cigarette, a battery hits up the solution to create a vapor steam that you can inhale. The action of inhaling the vapor, which is similar to the sensation of smoking. Juul is a brand of e-cigarettes that is popular among middle schoolers and high schoolers and is used with a liquid containing pod. The liquid, which was often flavored, can provide the user with a taste such as a bubblegum or grapefruit flavor. There are other brands of e-cigarettes that also can be used with flavored liquid. The contents of e-cigarettes. Cigarettes have been around for many years, and their risks are well understood. Heart disease, lung disease, and an increase in cancer risk are all among the established effects of cigarettes, smoke, and secondhand smoke. E-cigarettes contain a variety of chemicals, including a bunch of chemicals. So with that being said, I'm not saying look at the back of your e-cigarette to make sure it's healthy for you, but be real conscious of what you put into your body. The long-term effects of inhaling the vaporized form of these products are not yet known, and they may be associated with effects such as cancer. So with that being said, if you vape cigarettes, it's going to help you get cancer. It's not going to prevent you from getting cancer. It's helping you get cancer. Why would you want anything that would help you get a deadly disease? Effects of e-cigarettes on COPD. Researchers have suggested that e-cigarettes may help smokers reduce their use of traditional cigarettes in the short form. It is uncommon to experience a sore throat, coughing, eye irritation, and dry throat shortly after vaping. Additionally, the impact of splitting traditional cigarettes with e-cigarettes is unclear. The use of these devices has been shown to cause inflammation, especially in the lungs. It turns out that the e-cigarettes may affect those with COPD differently than people who don't have COPD. The inflammatory response reduced by vaping is seen in people who do not have pulmonary disease, but it is higher among people who have COPD. The reason that e-cigarettes medicated inflammation is more pronounced for people who have COPD is not completely clear. We do know that the recent and chronic inflammation in the lungs lead to pulmonary disease, inflammation, neurons, and can interfere with oxygen and carbon dioxide transfer. Repeated episodes of inflammation intentionally led to thickening and scarring in the lungs. This these product symptoms, such as shortness of breath, wheezing, exercise, and fatigue, if you already have COPD, further inflammation will worsen your disease and may cause heart disease or other types of diseases to develop. If you have another lung disease besides COPD, such as asthma and allergies, keep in mind that e-cigarettes may make your symptoms act up and be worse. So basically, if you didn't understand anything that I just said, I basically said if you have like COPD, which is lung disease, smoking e-cigarettes is not good for you. All it does is make your symptoms worse. The use of e-cigarettes has been pronounced as a good strategy to, not smoke cigarettes. But basically, e-cigarettes are not good for you. And my opinion is you should stop smoking cigarettes. I mean, stop smoking e-cigarettes. Like, stop vaping. Vaping is the same thing as e-cigarettes. So you should stop vaping in a whole. And I say that because it's just going to hinder you in your life. And if you already have different diseases or health conditions, it's just going to hinder you and make whatever condition you had prior to using the vape or the electronic cigarettes, whichever one you want to call it, it makes your situation worse and it makes you sick. And the same things that will occur when you smoke regular cigarettes are the same things that are going to occur now with you smoking e-cigarettes. Now, I'm going to show you what e-cigarettes, electric cigarettes, vapes, what they look like. Okay. So I'm going to show you once again. This is the vapes. These are all different types of vapes. All different types. All different types. And the list just goes on. And this one right here. So this one is a typical one that you would see everybody have. And like I said, I'm just using this one particularly as an example. But right here is a battery pack. I don't know if the battery is on this side or this side, but there's a battery, one or two batteries in this machine. And there's oil in this machine, and sometimes it may be infused with weed. But there's oil and there's a battery inside this machine, and you're smoking it out of this part right here. Do you really think that is good for you? If smoking cigarettes, and if you don't know what a cigarette is, I'm going to put it out there, cig. And I can say this because cigarettes and vapes go hand in hand. But I can say this because my grandfather, my father, who raised me, he smoked cigarettes. And I used to tell him all of the time. I used to say, Papa, you know you can't smoke cigarettes. Why, baby? Why can't I smoke cigarettes? I'm a grown man. I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. I'm your pop-up. I said, Pop-up, you love me, right? And I'm being transparent with y'all. This is a conversation we had before he passed away, years before. Um, you love me, right? Yes, I love you, Munchkin. He used to call me Munchkin. I love you, Munchkin, with all my heart. I said, and I'll never forget, if you love me, you will not smoke cigarettes. Why do you say that? I said, because cigarettes prolong your life. Sorry, not prolong. I used the wrong word. They hinder your life on this earth. It lessens your life on this earth. And it makes you have a smoker's cough. Because my grandma never smoked cigarettes a day in her life. But because she lived with a man who smoked cigarettes, now she has a smoker cough. A smoker's cough. And when she went to the doctor said, have you ever smoked cigarettes? Never a day in my life. Well, your lungs look like you smoke cigarettes your whole life. So I said, do you know, Papa, that I'm sitting on your lap and I'm hanging out with you and I'm loving on you because you're my Papa and I really care about you. But me being around you, I'm smoking cigarettes too because it's called second hand smoke. So anybody who's around somebody who's smoking cigarettes, they're smoking cigarettes too, even though they're not inhaling it. And I'm not just talking about cigarettes, I'm talking about vaping as well. Because they go hand to hand because they're basically both the same thing. But yeah. And I'll never forget, he used to get the marble, red and white pack. And y'all smokers know what I'm talking about. So I used to tell him, like, sit at the dinner table, and I used to tell him in the kitchen, like, I want you to be here for years. I want you to be here for years. And I don't want to ever wake up a day and you're not here. So I need you to work with me. And if you love me, you will not smoke cigarettes. And guess what? Do you know? I told him that 4 different times. Listen, listen, listen. I told him that 4 different times in 1 year. Do you know? 2 years later, 2 years later, he stopped smoking cigarettes. And then the year after that, he passed away. So it doesn't matter how long it takes for the person to stop smoking cigarettes. It just matters that you're talking to people and educating them and talking to them and letting them know, like, this is what you're doing to yourself and I don't want this to happen. So if you love me and you care about me, you would do this for me. And my grandfather told me he loves me and he will stop smoking cigarettes on his own time, but it is very hard. And I understood that, and guess what? He stopped smoking cigarettes. So sometimes people just think like I'm addicted to smoking cigarettes. I don't know what else to do. And it is so hard. There's patches out there for people who smoke cigarettes so that you can try to get off of it and not be addicted. There's so many coping mechanisms and all. I'm just saying, guys, stop vaping. Please stop vaping. Vaping and smoking cigarettes is not for you, honey. It's not. And And like I said, you may say, the fuck is wrong with this bitch? She don't smoke vape. She hasn't vaped or smoked a day in her. She hasn't smoked cigarettes. She hasn't vaped a day in her life. Get the fuck out my face. Bitch, who the fuck are you? Why are you talking to me in this video about vaping and smoking? You don't even know what you talk about. How are you trying to help me, but you never did it yourself? I did. I did vape myself. I did smoke cigarettes myself because it's called a secondhand smoke. I didn't have to do it physically. But being in the room while someone's doing it, I'm smoking as well. hmm So, with that being said, I'm going to show you a picture of vaping. I showed you the picture of vaping. Now I'm going to show you a picture of cigarettes. Here is a cigarette. So let me explain the cigarette. So basically, this right here is the same thing as, I'm going to use this. This right here is my headphones case. I'm going to use this as a vape while I'm giving you the example. Alright. So, this right here is the same thing as this right here. The top part, which is your vape. Okay? Which is your vape. So, with that being said, I'm giving you the example. This is not a vape. This is just my headphones case. The bottom part right here, this part right here that I'm showing you, this bottom part right here, is the same as this right here. It's the same. And imagine this right here, which is the inside of it. Imagine it's this part right here that's inside of it, where the battery is at. And all you're doing is puff, puff, blow out. So basically, my point in taking, my point of this video is, if you care about yourself, and you care about your family, you care about your loved ones, and you care about yourself in a whole, because self-love is so important, then I would definitely tell you, stop vaping. Stop smoking. It's not good for you. And if you want to be on this earth to see your children and your grandchildren and your great grandchildren and great 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 grandchildren, you need to stop. This is not helping you. Find another way of coping, because smoking ain't helping you. And I know it may taste good, it may smell good, you know, people may bribe you or stuff like that to do it. It's not. And sharing your vape with other people ain't good either, because you don't know what other people may have in their body, in their mouth, that you may contract. So I'm telling you, in my own words, if you don't want to do it for yourself or anybody else, do it for me. Vaping and smoking is not good. It's not your friend. It is not a good thing to do. So I'm just telling you to stop. This is not it. And I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to help you prolong your life. And vaping is not good. I know the advertisement may be so flamboyant that it catches your eye and makes you go, oh my God, that is so good. Let me go. No, it's not it. It is not it. So if you've ever vaped, let me know what you think about it. If you ever smoked cigarettes, let me know what you think about it. But come on, guys. We got to make the world a better place. And it won't be if you're smoking cigarettes, because you're hindering your life and the things God has planned for you. God doesn't plan for you to smoke cigarettes and kill your insides, because that's all you're doing. I love each and every one of you guys. I care about each and every one of you guys. And I don't want to see nothing happen to nobody. So I made this video for the pros and the cons of vaping, of smoking. I hope you hear what I'm saying. I hope you listen to what I'm saying and actually hear me. Not just say you hear me, but actually hear me. Because I'm only trying to help you to better you. To better you. Just like I wouldn't want to hurt myself in any type of way, I wouldn't want nobody else to. And you may not get this type of video from anybody else. So I'm telling you, please don't vape. Please don't smoke. It's not good for you. You're just hurting yourself in the long run, and it may be a great coping mechanism. It may be a great stress or depression reliever, but there's so many other things in the world that are great for those things. So this is not it. And I know that they have vapes that are to help you sleep or to help you with anxiety or depression. No. It's just another way to get you to smoke. That's it. It's not really helping you do nothing. So I'm just telling you, please don't do it. I don't care how much somebody tries to bribe you or talks to you about it, don't do it. If nobody's telling you don't do it, I'm telling you don't do it.